China reports COVID in December 2019. January 31st, COVID hits UK.
But little did people realise what was about to happen in just under 2 months' time on March 23rd.
From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
Britain went into lockdown for 3 months. During this time, citizens across the UK could not do what they would normally do, such as going out to pubs with their friends or feasting on a meal in a restaurant. People were only allowed to leave for strictly limited purposes, such as travelling to and from work if it was absolutely necessary. In June, restrictions lifted briefly and local lockdown restrictions were introduced. However, in November, the UK went into a second lockdown. There was a brief lift for the holidays, and then in the new year, a third lockdown was taken into action. Despite the breaks when restrictions eased, for the vulnerable and the elderly, they had to remain at home. For Hazel and Victor Chandler, this was tough as they could not see family for over a year. Even when family dropped off shopping for them on their doorstep, they had to keep the door shut. But with the free time they had, they found ways to keep occupied.
It's very restrictive. You can't sort of move around in the normal way you would, or you can't do the normal things that you would do. It just means that you're indoors all the time, and it just controls you to a certain degree. In fact, you can't do what you want to do.
Yeah, well, I've not been too bad because I've been doing crocheting and knitting and making masks, and that's kept me busy, and so we haven't been too bad really. But at our age, we don't go out much anyway, really, only shopping and that, and I get worn out really. So
it wasn't too bad when you had the break in between the two lockdowns, where you, for that little period of time in sort of
we could go
August,
out.
September, and do some shopping and anything else you might want to do outside. But since then, again, of course, in December we've been locked down again.
It'd be nice to be able to cuddle our children and our grandchildren again, where we haven't been able to do that.